Hi, I'm Ross Taylor. Welcome to Sacred Sundays, a space to slow down, tune in, and return to what's sacred within and around you. Some weeks you'll hear a sound-based offering to open the space. Other times we'll simply begin in conversation. However it unfolds, this is an invitation into presence, connection, and the beauty of the unseen. So pour a cup of tea, settle in, and let's begin. I'm happy to welcome Ailsie Path to the Sacred Sundays podcast. Ailsie is a quantum healer who works in the energy field. Key codes are part of her path and not often talked about. These codes have a lot of intel associated with what is unfolding in the bigger picture of the ascension process on Earth right now. Through her sense of inner hearing, seeing, feeling, and knowing, she perceives their meaning and purpose. Channeling these cosmic codes, translating their messages to explain how they are here to support humanity during this pivotal evolutionary period. Her work bridges the unseen energies of the universe with human consciousness, fostering growth, healing, and transformation. Welcome, Ailsie.
Hi, Ross. Thanks for having me.
I believe you're going to share a live key code transmission with our listeners. Is there anything you want to say before you do that?
So, key codes are part of different frequencies. Usually, they have about 8 frequencies within them. And so, they're activations. And so, when the key codes come through, I'm going to assist us with tuning forks so that we can get into a meditative state. And then through your higher self, you receive the key codes. You need to be in your heart to receive key codes, and then they'll unlock different things within every person.
That sounds great.
Okay,
Let's do it.
shall we begin? Okay. Okay, so I always like to begin with cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. I usually do about 3 to 5. And if you feel a little nervous or anything like that, then just keep doing it until you start feeling relaxed, listening to the tuning forks. Nice deep breath, relaxing on the exhale. So you want to drop your consciousness into your heart chakra, and then you want to connect with your higher self and allow your higher self to come into the body. And you want to send a cord down into Gaia, all the way down to the center of her crystalline cord or her core, and just anchor in there, feeling very grounded. Allow Gaia's energy to come back into your body. And just integrating. So when I'm connected to the higher self and I'm receiving frequencies to unlock things within me, I like to place my palms facing up, either on my lap or on the table in front of me. And this just lets my guides know that I'm ready to receive. And so if you're listening and you're uncomfortable with anything of this and you're unknown to these, then you just don't place your hands facing up. Okay, and they can be fast codes or they can be slower. We're going to start with light language first, just so you can hear the love that comes through it and you can feel yourself in your heart. Do shinamaki autsa shatamo shinamaki akuta e totaramo shatiro u shanama shata e totarabo shanamaki ausa de totaramo shiki dutsanama shakari sutaria saki Boshana Magia Totaria Sata. So they're bringing us to, these are pre-recorded, but we have a significant new moon right now in Leo. Botare Bishinamoto Tariasaka, which is leading us to the 8-8 portal, the Lion's Gate. Oshanama Shitira Kotora Bashanama Asatotara Shaki. Asototona Mashatu da Basharikia Totarayasata. Okay. And so we're just searching for frequencies to come through. And I see Lyran descent, so these are light beings. Gota Esha Totoramashaki. And the key codes generally go down the spine, and so we always like to have a straight back when we receive them. Nice deep breath. And allow the angels to surround you in beautiful mercy and support and protection. Da shuko teka teka toko teka teka toko 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 teka da shika teka teka toko teka da shika teka teka toko teka 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 toko teka da shika teka teka to shika kiko toko teka teka ta toko teka da shoto tari sika teka teka to to teka 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 sha yo shoto teka teka di. So these are for the high heart. The high heart is our upper chest. Do shika teka teka do shoto teka 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 toko toko teka da shika teka to sha at it oto shika teka toko da shika toko te shoto to tari siki. Dotaria soko tokotarashaka. Bashakotare sa ash at ot. So what is happening in the unlocking of the high heart? This is to feel and love deeper. And so a lot of the human race is closed off at this time. And it's really important as light workers and healers that we start expanding our heart and just automatically, just like a cup overflowing, that we just automatically give this love for free as an essence. We don't have to say anything or do anything. It's just a feeling of deep compassion and love for our sisters and brothers in this world. And so that's what the key codes were coming in the body to do. And so then I like to bring in integration through toning. And these just allow the key codes to go in our body to adjust to a new way of being. And integration can take about 3 days. And so I always have an intention that we integrate while we're sleeping, we heal while we're sleeping, and we wake up well rested while we're going through these activations and processing. Doshana makiki. And so just allow your body to relax. Just breathe deeply into your body. Nice deep breath and exhale. To allow that love to fill your auric field and just start to feel maybe tingles in the body. Come to a place of gratitude. And always keep your higher self in your body as much as you can. We really are becoming that of a higher frequency. And it's such a gift to make space for the true self to come in. And thank you.
Thank you so much for that beautiful transmission. I really enjoyed the experience and really felt it quite deeply.
Good. Yeah. I enjoy key codes a lot.
I love the toning. I know that when I listened to one of your YouTube videos and you were toning, I was like, whoa, what is that? And it's hard to believe that you're actually making those sounds so beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, very healing.
So let's start with, I would imagine that some of our listeners have not heard light language before. And so I wonder what you could say about light language that might help someone to understand what exactly light language is.
Okay, so light language is frequencies, different frequencies, and different people have different experiences with light language. So light language can be anything creative that you're doing, if it's painting, playing an instrument, singing, dancing, uh, just anything that you're expressing through your heart is generally a frequency of light language. And so it's something that lights you up and you share it with the world.
Okay. And it sounds like a specific language of sounds. I wouldn't call it words. So how do you explain that part?
So there's different types of light language. Some people speak it, some people don't. If you are starting to speak it or you're interested in when you hear people and you're wanting to, we all have a different dialect, a different frequency of which we're from, either a starseed origin, or we get connected to a frequency of which we bring here on our mission to Earth. I'm an open channel. I see frequencies, I hear frequencies, I feel them, and I know where they're coming from, and I know what they are. With that, that's where the key codes start to come in, where it's to do with a lot of grid work that I do with key codes. When you have awareness of healing and awareness of different things that are coming onto the planet, these unlock things for the collective as well. And that's honestly what key coders do, is just help the collective on a whole awaken. And then in personal sessions, I unlock certain things within people that are having blocks, opening up their own gifts and the reason why they are here.
Okay. And when you told me that you were going to share key codes, the first thing that came into my head was, thinking of my kids playing video games and, searching for cheat codes. And
Oh,
I'm not trying to diminish what you're what you're sharing, but to me it is like when you said unlocking something, it's like unlocking a gift that you don't have. And in video games, it's very much like that too.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like these codes are here to help us to move forward in our growth and ascension quicker.
Yeah, and it is like that because a lot of people that I work with, they're also healers and they also have their own path. And then there's just something, there's some kind of hiccup within them, and they usually know exactly what it is, and that's when they come to me. It's like a record with a skip in it. We just kind of
Hmm.
go over that skip.
Sure. And in the transmission, I at this point, I think I forgot everything you said. However, I do remember that there was something about the importance of opening our heart at this time, especially as healers, and I can totally relate to that. It's been showing up in my life. It's something that I've very much been working on, and I really felt that energy and the help in the transmission for sure.
Oh, good. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is very important that we don't close off. I find on this journey, we become such a hermit when we're awakening and we're removing ourselves from our old self and our old life and our old friends. And then we come into this new self, and then we need to expand and we need these connections again. And it's not easy to expand a broken heart because we all have these broken hearts, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there's that term, the wounded healer. I think I definitely very much teach from that place. And I think we help people at the level that we're at. And as someone who's a light worker, I find that because so much of my effort is going out to others, I think what you're saying about, getting that help from someone else to get that next little piece of work, it's so important because we can only help ourselves to a certain degree. We always need someone else outside of ourselves that can help us to break those little patterns that you're referring to.
It's so true. It's funny because I did this meditation this morning and we came into this very still place of peace. And I was like, If we were in this place of peace all the time, which is pretty much like God, right? And it's just like nothing was going on, and if there was no people in your existence, how peaceful it would be, but at the same time, it would be quite boring, right? And then I was like, so every time something happens to me, it's almost like, oh, God's bored again. And and he's just got to live through my eyes while I go through this different emotion. So it's funny that you said that.
Well, I listened to a channeling last week, and in that channeling, they referred to this as a game that's always wanting to experience itself as love and all the forms of it. So what you just said is exactly what they were talking about. It's like, oh yeah, let's give this experience but all in the name of coming back around to love.
Yeah, I feel that.
And it's not easy to go through that experience.
And have gratitude for it in the end, like
Exactly.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So you do these transmissions, you help with key codes, and you also do other things.
I also do quantum healing. I do quantum touch as well. So quantum touch is in the physical. So I'm with the person. And then majority of it is entering through the heart and the parasympathetic nervous system, and then unlocking things that way. Some people, they just need physical touch right now, and this is what they need to expand their heart. Other people, I work with people around the world that I'm alone in my room. They're generally sleeping. I channel paperwork in the quantum, things that are going in their chakras, and then I make them a video and I explain what I saw, and I channel some more, and then I'll bring key codes in as well there. And then I also do tarot readings, and I do quantum meditations and things like that.
Amazing. And I've recently been watching a lot of your tarot readings that you share on YouTube. They've been quite amazing and quite accurate. So, from everything you just shared, there's lots of gifts that you bring out into the world. How is it that you came into these gifts?
So I've always been quotation mark weird. And so a young age, I had like an invisible friend. I've had clairaudient messages from God or whatever as a child as well. And then I've always been interested in trees and making little potions in my room, not really knowing how or why, or just that interest. 15, I got into Reiki already. Pranic healing was 16. And so I've always been interested. When I was 24, I started a course called Super Supercharge Frontal Lobes. And it went into like the six other senses that we have, telepathy and clairvoyancy and all these things. So I started working on moving the amygdalas forward and activating them into the frontal lobes. And I did it really quickly and I scared myself. I started having a lot of like huge full visions of dreams, like really long full movies. And when I was walking, if I forgot my dream, I'd be like, oh, I want to remember my dream. And it would just start flashing in front of my eyes. And I'd be like coming out of it, not even knowing how long it was. So there was too many pops happening. And I started hearing something outside of myself, and I literally closed the door on it. And so as soon as I slammed that door, the gifts went away. And so that was around 24. 33, I got into breath work, doing breath work workshops for people. And I started going into a different type of Reiki, which was Fuma Reiki. It's where you harness chi, and then you bring it into your core, and then you push it into the body where the actual pain is existing. That was great. But then I started having kids. So I took a break, became a mom, and 41, I awakened to my psychic gifts and a clear channel through uh, a guardian angel awakened me. And so I was with him for 6 weeks, 24/7. And that's where I really got into tarot. I really got into telepathy and that type of work. That's where I started my YouTube channel, and that's how I found my tribe. Yeah.
Love it. It's so evident when I listen to you do your tarot readings and when I see you do your work, how you do have all these gifts. Like it's so apparent to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me wonder what you might want to say to all of the people out there who these gifts are starting to emerge and they silently suppress them. And like you started out by saying, I've always been weird. And, I think we're all weird. What is it that you would want to say to someone who, like I have clients all the time say, oh, and, I think I might be a medium. And literally they're just throwing it out as this like, it's a safe space where I can say that. And how are you going to respond? So what would you say to people who are discovering that they might have these gifts?
Yeah, so before I would tell people, like, oh, you should go into that more. You should practice it. You should get to know it. But nowadays, the way that I see the world going, these are a must. And I
Hmm.
think everybody needs to be practicing these gifts. And if you have vision, you need to be meditating and working on that vision, getting that vision clearer. If you're having clear audience, where you're having inner messages coming in, also tapping into the higher realms. I think if you have fear, don't play with things that you fear. And so mediumship is a hard one because it's got a lot of negative frequencies in it. If you're dealing with ghosts and things like that, then the ghosts have guilt and shame and blame within them. So I tuned off of that in 2019 and just went higher. I can get the same the same healing abilities for people without having to go communicate with a ghost that is lost in limbo, having regret and shame. And so some people are really great at it. And I have great friends that do mediumship and they're amazing. So you have to really find out where you're confident and also find out where you feel secure and safe. And where is your curiosity? Because that curiosity is going to make this a fun schooling. Like if you can think of this as our new type of schooling, we are moving towards a telepathic communication of transparency within people. It's the only thing we're going to be able to trust is people in their heart.
I love that. And I think what you shared is so important because you're right. We need these gifts more than ever. We need them to wake up and we need them for all the people that are going to need support through those kind of mediums, not mediumship, but those mediums. And I know that for myself, I'm part of a spiritual development circle. And for me, like I'm claircognizant, I'm also clairsentient, and I always find that interesting because I'm surrounded by people who have clairvoyance and they're so visual, and I tend to like be like, well, why am I not having that experience? Even though I know that my experience is my experience, and I know that I also have access to those things if I can grow my channel. I guess what I'm trying to get to is it's important to surround yourself with other people that are doing the same thing so that you can learn together. But I'm also thinking about certain clients I have that they don't have access to that because of where they live. And, there is no community like that. I think we're really lucky here on the island with the amount of, healers and practitioners that we have access to.
We are, we're very lucky where we are. And I also have friends that just don't have a community at all. Maybe they do online, but not where they are. And I think it's so important to be in person now too, especially if a lot of people are going into hermit mode to figure out their gifts and practice them. And then a lot of people have been doing this for, so many years
Hmm.
and they're needing to really be there to do hands-on. I find the quantum touch is being more desired than the last 6 years that I've been doing quantum. So it's that's putting me out of my comfort zone too,
Right.
because I'm clairsentience as well. And so taking on other people's energy and then having to transmute it. So I've been really studying boundaries, energetic boundaries, and things like that while I'm working with people, to observe and not absorb and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. If there was someone that was in a community by themselves, how might they go about discovering? Because I'm just imagining that there are people that are in that community that have these kind of gifts and want to share as well. So how can you safely explore that? What advice would you have for those people?
Yeah, I've told people before, like with dance or just doing a drum circle, a woman's circle, men's circle, and just kind of finding a place and putting it out there, build it and they will come. See if there is other people that are looking for it, because that's really how we study these gifts and practice them together. And it's amazing as soon as you share something so secret and somewhat shameful that you didn't want people, maybe they'll think you're crazy or something like that, and you share it, and then you've got people that are nodding, yes, I've seen that
Right.
too. Suddenly it's, you already see it more as a gift instead of something that you've been hiding all this time, and then you're, oh well, this also happened to me, and this happened to me, did you experience this and that, and suddenly this confidence of who you are starts building, right?
I love that. And I love the
Mhm.
simplicity of putting out the spiritual events or looking at for the spiritual events where like-minded people are going to be, because I think it removes the pressure and it eliminates the belief that, oh, there's nobody out there.
Yeah, and don't put pressure on yourself that you have to be there and teach people. Just holding space for people is sometimes the most growing you can do.
And it's the same with the men's groups that I offer. Just the idea of showing up and realizing, oh, I'm not the only one that is having this question, or I'm not the only one who has this problem or this challenge. It's like, oh, everybody in this circle has the same question or the same thought. I'm not alone. And we can often go through thinking we're the only ones.
Yeah, we do, don't we? Like all of us do it, which is so strange.
I don't do it anymore, but I used to do oracle card readings and I would do a weekly video. And I mean, that was something that was so challenging for me to actually step into at the time. And I did it faithfully. And it's funny because they come up in my Facebook memories and I see them and I'm like, wow, like I did a lot of those. And it was mainly because the community around me when I was in Squamish was so supportive and commenting and really cheering me on. Sometimes we have to put ourselves out there to get that experience and realize that, oh, people do want this information.
Yeah, they do. And do you find like when you're like, it's interesting when I'm doing a card reading too, that I hear my truth come out more than I speak it with my friends.
Sure.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a different, I think it's that different part of you that gets to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Elsie, I think we have to end somewhere. And so I just want to say thank you so much for being here today. But before we finish, I just want to ask you a question that I ask every guest, which is, what is one simple way that someone could connect with the sacred today?
Okay, so like we did with the opening of the key codes, uh, make your space protected, connect with Gaia, connect with your higher self. And then I was like at least three cleansing breaths through your nose, out through your mouth, just to tell your spirit that you're there to communicate. And then just quiet your mind, go into your heart, and go from there. If it's silent, awesome, you're doing it right. And if it starts to get beyond the silence, where you start to tap into knowledge, that's the mind, not the ego. And then just allow the adventure to begin. Explore.
I love that. Thank you.
Hmm.
And for people who want to stay connected or explore more of your work, where's the best place for them to find you?
So YouTube, you can look up Elsie Path. You can find my YouTube channels, and I am on Insight Timer, not as much though. And so you can also go to, I would say YouTube. And
Okay,
then all my information is in the description box on YouTube.
excellent. And we'll put your information in the show notes as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your gifts with us today. It was a pleasure to have this conversation with you. And to everyone listening, thank you for tuning in. Until the next time, take good care. Thank you for joining us here on Sacred Sundays. I hope something in today's offering spoke to your spirit, stirred something true, or simply gave you a moment to breathe. You can find more Sacred Sundays episodes as well as other conversations from the Sacred Village podcast at sacredvillagepodcast.com. Feel free to share this episode with someone who might need it. Until next time, may your Sunday be slow and sacred. Bye for now.